So welcome to a new video and welcome to a new boat. For those that haven't kept up with our regular updates, we have purchased a new boat. It's a Najad 360 from 1986. So yeah, we just wanted to give like a quick run through and a boat tour. Obviously these videos are a little bit out of sequence, a long way out of sequence actually. We're still making our way across the Pacific in our regular updates, but we'll explain more of that at the end and where we're at and what our plans are. But yeah, welcome to the new boat.
So this is our new boat. It is a Najad 360 from 1986. She is a classic, more of a blue water boat, and built in Sweden, on the western coast of Sweden, on Orust Island, which is pretty much the same area where the Hallberg Rassies are built. So she's very similar to a Hallberg Rassie. A lot of parts are made by the same manufacturers, but obviously the Najads are red, not blue. And yeah, there's quite a lot of differences to Beaver and what we're used to. As you can see, she's got a center cockpit, a center helm. We have only had a few test sails on her so far, so we are still kind of getting to know her and how different she handles compared to Beaver.
So we'll just start here in the cockpit. The Najad 360 is a center cockpit, obviously very different than our previous boat, the Beneteau. But yeah, it's quite small in here. You've got everything, all the winches within arm's reach. There's 4 winches here, and you've got like a little aft deck here, so you feel very protected from the open sea behind you, which is something that we've got to get used to. But it is quite nice having a central steering wheel as opposed to like the modern production boats. I've got the twin wheels at the stern, so you feel very central. You can see, got good visibility of everywhere with the windscreen and all your helm controls here. The boat is 36 feet long, length overall, so the waterline length ends up being about 9.5 meters, more of a traditional classic design. It's got a short rig, it's 15.5 meters above the water, which is yeah, quite a lot shorter than our previous boat. Was around about 19 meters mast height from the waterline. So something different for us to get used to, but yeah, quite a good boat.
So we have this nice little aft deck on this boat, which gives us a bit more of a space, as well as also giving us a bit more protection while we're in the cockpit. We've got like a little swim platform at the back there with the ladder, so it's easy to jump in for a swim if we want to. We've also got the hatch here that leads down to the aft cabin, and there's a tiny little storage locker here, which we are just keeping all the ropes at the moment.
So moving forward on the boat, it's just a traditional sloop rig boat. It's a masthead rig, so that means basically the forestay or the genoa goes all the way to the head of the mast. Obviously it'll have a quite shorter mast than a fractional rig. Yeah, very functional mast and rig setup. It's from the Swedish manufacturer Selden, which is basically my favourite. Much easier to assemble components, easily accessible to get these parts all through Europe, especially in Scandinavia. Yeah, we have a slab reefing main, fully battened mainsail, and just you got a single line reefing system in the boom. And having our previous boat, we had the main sheet slider here forward of the cockpit, but on this boat it's after the cockpit, which in our opinion gives you better tuning of the mainsail. So moving forward again, we've got a nice large flat open foredeck. For a 36-foot boat, there's actually quite a lot of room up here. Single hatch down into the V-berth, a double bed down there, so that gives good ventilation. Quite modern hatches on the boat, so there's no problems with the leaking. And up here we have our main anchor locker here. On this boat there is 50 meters of 8mm chain. I've got a low franz windlass here. And this locker here, it doubles as a gas locker on this boat because it's got drainage in the system, and there's no there's no conventional gas locker stern. Yeah, we're quite happy with that. Yeah, single forestay up forward, yeah, with the anchor alongside that. But yeah, quite a good setup up forward. We're pretty happy with it. So on the mast, on the forward end of the mast here, we've got quite a large, I think it's a 80mm diameter spinnaker pole. I think it's about 5 meters long. Got two winches on the mast, which are pretty easy to use for halyards. You know, you can come and just do the mainsail from the mast, which I sort of prefer. Yeah, everything's organized quite well. The boat does obviously have teak decks. That's something new for us. We haven't had a teak deck boat before, but obviously pretty common on the boats built up here in Scandinavia. Gives a rather thick deck, a lot of insulation in winter, which we're happy about, but obviously there's some maintenance issues there, so we have to keep an eye on it and probably just learn how to maintain them well.
So it's obviously a boat that's built more for the colder climates up here in the north, and as you can see we do have like a proper windscreen on the boat, which gives us a lot of protection from the elements, and that was something that was really important for us when we were looking for our next boat. So yeah, we can sit nice and dry in there in protection. So obviously, as you can see, it's a very functional cockpit. We have the winches really close. We have all the instruments in the cockpit here. And yeah, it's really nice and cozy, and like one of the projects we want to do in the future is to make like a cover here that comes down, so when you're going around in the winter you can have some protection and sit in here. Yeah, it's a really good setup for sailing in colder climates. So this is the inside of the boat. It is a very cozy and spacious saloon with a very like traditional sort of feel about it from like the typical Swedish sort of built boats. As you can see, it has the double couches on either side with a big table at the middle that flips up, so you can actually accommodate quite a lot of people here. We have an L-shaped galley here on the port side of the boat. It's got a big double sink here. It's got plenty of storage room, yeah, for just like cups and plates, and lots of storage for food. The stove is quite new. It also has a pretty new fridge for an old boat. And yeah, it is a little bit crammed, the space, like some of the headroom is quite low. But yeah, it's awesome to have an L-shaped galley. That's something that I was really looking for in the next boat, because it's a lot more practical when you're at sea. But yeah, moving forward, we will be having a look at the V-berth. So this is our V-berth up in the bow of the boat. It has quite a big bed here. You can put in like an extra little bit here that comes in the middle, so it's a double bed, or you can leave it as it is now and it works as 2 single beds. We have a big locker on this side, and we have more lockers on this side here, and yeah, there's plenty of headroom for me at least, who's 160 tall.
So moving aft in the boat, the access to the aft cabin here is through the galley. I'm not very tall, but you can see I'm only about 180 tall, and I'm hunched over to be in here. In this area at the sink I can stand tall, but as soon as you move aft I have to duck down. So we have the fridge access here below the bench top, and we've got a little like a tunnel here moving into the aft cabin, and we have a nice big double berth here. This is like a good thing about a center cockpit, is you usually get a stern tunnel coming down into like a large double aft cabin. It's quite different than our previous boat. This, we kind of really enjoy it. You've got almost a full double bed with a good hatch up here, and like sort of like a couch off to the side here. A little bit extra headroom would be appreciated, but this is what we've got. We can sort of make it work. And yeah, over to the port side we have one nice big storage locker here, and almost a standing tall coat hanger sort of locker here, which this door, it actually doubles as a door to the cabin, which is quite handy.
So off to the starboard side here we have the heads, and yeah, it is a tiny little space toilet. We've got the shower, just slides out of the sink here, and yeah, you got just enough room in here to have a shower, which I guess that's something we have to get used to. And we also have like quite a big sort of drying locker in here to hang our wet weather gear after a sail. And there's also like a few hooks in here that you can hang all the wet stuff in, and it dries real quick, so that's good. So we have the 2 couches on either side. They are quite long. They seem like they would be really good at sea. When you put like a little lee cloth on the side here, you have like, you're pretty stable in the center of the boat. And they're also great for when you have guests on board. They are actually quite large because you can fold up the top here and you have a much larger bed. It does come with the lee cloth here, which we just connect on when you're at sea, and it seems like it would be a really comfortable bed at sea, being right next to the keel here. It even comes with the little light there for reading. It's pretty handy.
Perfect. So the access to the engine is here in the stern tunnel next to the galley. Has a nice big door here that opens up. One of the main reasons that we bought the boat is it came with a brand new engine from 2022. It's a Yanmar 54 horsepower, so it's even bigger than our previous boat's engine. We had a 40 horsepower last time. We found them really reliable, really good engines. And yeah, it looks like they've upgraded the whole space. It's got new noise cancelling foam. It's got a brand new diesel heater in there, so we're really stoked about everything in this space. Just under here in the companionway stairs, we have the access to the battery locker. It's rather small, pretty basic setup, to be honest. It's just two lead acid batteries here and 1 start battery. So this is the house bank, that's the starter battery. Yeah, pretty basic. Hopefully we can do some upgrades on that in the future, definitely before we do any big offshore passages. So the main tanks of the Najad 360 is you've got a water tank here under the main deck. It's a stainless steel tank. It's 300 litres, but it's quite smart how they've set it up because they put it under the main deck, so all the weight of the water is down low in the boat, close to the keel. Yeah, stainless steel tanks. Most of the production boats are obviously plastic, so pretty happy about that to begin with. We've got the main diesel tank here is 230 litres. It's off to the port side. It's actually under this sort of settee. Underneath there, again, big stainless steel tank. Pretty happy about the tanks on this boat. For a 36-foot boat, it's got quite a lot of storage.
So one of the things we really like about this boat is just the quality in all the handcraft on it, like just all the timber work. It is all mahogany, and yeah, you can just see like every little detail. So much work in it, and yeah, you can see these big lockers with plenty of storage room. They're quite deep, so you can fit a lot of stuff in there, and yeah, it just provides a really sort of warm and cozy atmosphere in here with all the beautiful timber work. So when it comes to the pros and cons with this boat, I'm gonna have to say a big con with it is that it is a bit more crammed. There's a lot less space for storage and moving around. A great thing with it is that it is just like so much better quality throughout, and it feels much more cozy and homey. So I'm really stoked with that.
Yeah, obviously we are pretty happy with the boat. You know, haven't tested it out offshore yet. It is a strong Bluewater boat. So really good reputation. It is a little bit smaller. It's a lot smaller than our previous boat, which was a production boat. So it's not really a fair comparison. It's strict on the headroom, but you know, I think offshore it'll be a much more comfortable boat, and yeah, excited to test it out.
So this is our new little crew member, Luca. You might have seen her lurking around in the background in the video, and yeah, she did not come with the boat. We've had her for a little while now. She is a little cavoodle, so she's a mix between a poodle and a cavalier. And yeah, we're just trying to get her used to the sailing. She's a bit skeptical still, but yeah, she's getting more and more used to it. And also getting her used to the camera. She's a bit scared of the dead cat. Dead cat? Is that what it's called?
Yep, that's what
So just don't come too close with the camera, because she does not like it. Huh? Who's that, Luca? Who's that? Who's that?
So obviously moving on from here, we'll be continuing on with our normal videos, which are obviously in the Pacific at the moment. Yeah, we are a long way behind, but we're going to try and work back to real time as quick as we can. Obviously we want to finish the trip all the way to New Zealand and continue on to where we are now, which is in Norway.
Yes, we do want to show you guys a lot of the stuff we're doing up here now. We have a lot of big trips planned and places we really want to see. So we really hope we can get up to explore more of the Arctic region up here. And this is definitely a good boat for all the adventures we have planned.
For sure.
And yeah, and then we just also want to thank everyone who's reached out to us, and yeah, it really keeps us motivated and excited to keep publishing videos and showing our journey, and yeah, stoked with it.
Yep, so hopefully we can tune back into some regular Pacific crossing videos very soon.
Thanks for watching.
Cheers.